Modi, that English foreign media is commenting on an Indian chief minister.
You're right, and actually we made a short video on this, part. And I will show it to the audience. Okay. You're absolutely true.
I was very intrigued. Like they're saying a cow-loving chief minister. Modi made in fact, New York Times used the word a militant chief minister. The lady was trolled and she said, no, militant means zealous, and then she changed the word on an online article, but the printed one was printed anyways. So that also intrigued me, that why they have so much confidence. My internal feeling was that Modi को तो उन्होंने prime minister बना दिया, Yogi को भी बना के ही मानेंगे. The other ones, right? They were so perturbed by he becoming the chief minister. And when my team gave me all the videos, articles, like almost 99.9% was negative around him. I'm saying someone who is a member of parliament for 5 terms, and a lot of people don't know like his history, like who he was. So he's born in a town in Uttarakhand, now Uttarakhand, earlier Uttar Pradesh, a village called Panchur. His father was a forest guard, right? And mother, like a house, uneducated, so to say in the modern terms, uneducated housewife. There were 6 siblings. He went to multiple schools because his father was transferred in multiple places, and he was a very studious, nice student. And like being with cows was his responsibility in the house. They have 6 cows, and after coming from the school, he used to take them to grazing. And now when you see his politics, right, you'll see a lot of things, how he was growing up. I made a comic on him, and how the first scene opens in the comic, and I heard this incident in the village, that once he saw one of his cows was hurt, right? And the mother was calling that you were getting late for the school. He said, no, let me bandage the cow first. And he bandages the cow, and then he goes to a small hillock, like in hilly areas, everything is a hillock. So, and he's like 10 at that time, 10 or 11 years old. And he raises his fingers, and I'll say this in Hindi, as I heard from people, किसी ने मेरी गाय के साथ कुछ भी करा तो बुरा नहीं होगा. Now you can find a Yogi Tevar, right? That at 11 years, he's saying, if someone messes with my cow, right, next time, this will not be good for you. And I'll find many such instances that that bulldozer Baba was getting born there.
Yeah, absolutely. And his love for cows is so much evident even now. I remember I was shooting at Gorakhnath Mutt in Gorakhpur along with him. And, so he's a true yogi, such a great discipline. It was very, very cold winters, of the north. And, I was told that, that Maharaj will be there at 4:45, he will show up. And so all the unit in the morning, we all were there, ready we wanted to capture, what is his routine usually. So, the routine went, that he first of all goes and he worships in all the temples, with gurus and, deities all in the mud tent. And then he goes to the Gaushala. And I was admiring him so much. I was with him and I was watching him while shooting, and I saw that he fed more than 100 cows himself. Yeah. He had named, the calves. And when the calves, they saw, Yogi Ji coming, he called them out and they all came running. Yeah. And with so much love, he fed them, and, so his love is, for the cows is so amazing. It's still there.
Exactly. So, yeah, and then he is 10 years old. He went to a school in Rishikesh, and in Rishikesh he was living alone with his brother, right? I think even today, you will not find any 11th, 12th grader living alone with a brother, right? So he's that kind of upbringing. When I was talking to his father during my documentation on book, 5 years back, he's no more now. He died 2 years back in Corona, not through Corona, but during the Corona time he died. And he told a very interesting thing. He told that he was a forest guard. His name is Anand Singh Bijji. He had a very interesting humor. So he told me that I used to wear a forest guard. It looks like a police, that a khaki thing, right? And it was UP earlier. So UPF, UP forest. And UPF, if you see, looks like very similar to UPP. P and F are very similar, right? So he used to say, Ajay ke dost mujhe police wala samajhte the. And he laughed aloud. I thought, I also laughed. And then he got a guard by Uttarakhand police, right? Because he's chief minister's father. Ab dekho mujhe asli police wala mil gaya. And he laughed again. So मैंने कहा, do you enjoy this police with you? No, he's too much of a mess. He eats too much. I have to feed him. I have to get a seat. मैं बस में नहीं जा पाता हूँ. And I have written 2 letters to, I think that was Triveni Singh Rawat. Triveni Singh Rawat ji to take him. I don't need a guard. And then, like, while we were finishing, he told that I went to his house first. Panchur mein they have a house. Panchur is a very small village, and last 1 kilometer you have to walk. Still to go to Yogi Adityanath's original house where his mother lives. Mother is surviving. You have to walk for the last kilometer. So we all walked with my team, and he said, "वो जो आपने हरा मकान देखा था, that's my only asset in life, right?" Through forest, a lot of my friends earn a lot of money, and they have houses in Dehradun. Dehradun is like a big city for them. They all have houses in Dehradun, but मेरी जो संपत्ति है, my asset is only my honest chief minister's son. And then he started crying vigorously. And that still gave me goosebumps. And Uttar Pradesh still feels it, that finally we got an honest chief minister. Moving on to the story, Praveenji. So then he went to college, he went to Kordwar, he did BSc Maths, he was a very good student. And there he joined Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad. And this is not even a coincidence, not Sanyog, Devyog, that he met Mahant Avedanath, his guru, on the context of Ram Temple. Can you imagine that? Like now he's the chief minister when Ram Mandir is built. And that time Ram Mandir movement was on its prime. And a lot of you don't know that the Mutt had a major role in Ram Mandir movement. In fact, Mahant Avedanath was the head of all the Ram Mandir committees. It was not Ashok Singhal ji.
Yeah, you know, and we have a film to show
I
on
also
that.
realized, so Ashok Singhal ji had this point that some Sant will be heading it. Like, I'll be the organizer, but some Sant will head it. So there were 6 different committees. Their different name, Ram Mandir Committee, Ram Mandir Pradhan Pratishtha Committee. And Mahant Avedanath was the head of all these committees. And Mahant Avedanath had this charge to go to all the college campuses. And Gorakhpur and Uttarakhand is almost 800, 900 kilometers away. And this is, I'm telling you, 1991 was travels, buses, trains was quite a difficult thing. So Mahant Avedanath had to land in Kordwar in Uttarakhand, and Ajay Singh Best, the pre-sannyas name of Yogi Adityanath, and had to be the organizer of that event. And they both meet. And he's asking questions about Ram, that what is the futility of Ram, why is this movement relevant today? And Mahant Avedanath is answering from the stage. And while after the session, he's saying, okay, you are quite energetic, we need people like you. Why don't you come to the Mutt? And can you imagine after 2 months, he lands in the Mutt. He did not become the sannyasi then, but again, it sounds very easy today. But can you imagine, like a 19-year-old, hardly any pocket money, going 900, 800 kilometers, booking like train ticket is tough today. Imagine then, and he's going there, and then they're starting bonding that time. Then he comes back. He started his MSc then in Rishikesh, in a different college. Rishikesh is downhill. In fact, Rishikesh is just from where Uttarakhand starts, from Saharanpur and Roorkee. And then he's doing his MSc. He reads the newspaper news that Mahant Avedanath is admitted in AIIMS. That time was only Delhi AIIMS. And again, he lands in Delhi AIIMS. And Delhi AIIMS is a huge structure. Finding your patient in Delhi AIIMS is a puzzle in itself. And he goes to Mahant Avedanath, and Mahant Avedanath, like, while lying down, multiple pipes going in and out. Though he lived long after that. He only died in 2014. He held his hand and said, "Ab to aapko aana hi padega." Right? And that's like, people still ask, sannyas kyun nahi? No one knows the answer. Yogi Adityanath never talks about it much. And anyway, you should not, like, ask about a pre-sannyas life of a sannyasi anyways, because I'm sure you all know that a sannyasi does a pindadan of himself, or not his identity basically. And he asked the first bhiksha from the parents and the close relatives just to, like, untie that knot of pre-sannyas life. And then he went back. He did not finish his MSc, and he went to the Mutt without informing the parents. He told ki kuch job hai and I'm going there. And parents only got to know through a newspaper that my son became the heir apparent, like the next in line for Gorakhnath Mutt. And they took a train and went there. And unfortunately, Mahant Avedanath was not in town that time. Only Yogi Adityanath, head shaved off. He looks very... And I produced... I don't have the copy of my first book, The Monk Who Became Chief Minister. I produced his photos with bandana, with goggles, with a group where someone is playing a guitar, like whatever the lifestyle of a 90, 91-year-old young people that time. And they saw him in a Bhagwa attire, head shaved off, with, if you know, the Kanfata in Gorakhpur, with the Kanfata Prakriya. And they do it from this lobe, not the lobe that we do normally. So in this format, they were like, the mother was weeping ferociously. And he made them calm down, made them eat food. If you go to Mutt, they will give you that peda and meethi lassi. That is common in the Mutt. And then he made them call to a landline through wherever Mahant Abednath was. And the conversation between, I call it the biological father and the guru, or the spiritual father. Because if you know, all sannyasis write their father's name, even their documents, like Aadhaar card, if you see Yogi Etnath's Aadhaar card, the father's name will be Mahant Abednath. That's how it goes. So when the conversation between biological father and the spiritual father is saying, you have like 6 children, can you give 1 children for the service of nation, for the service of dharma? And then the next moment, Anand Singh Bijji touches the feet of Yogi Etnath, like, consider him, now you are no more my son, you are Mahant Abednath. And from there on, the journey takes off. So in 1994, Mahant Abednath passed on his spiritual baton to him. Though he was, in Nathpant, till you are alive, you are the Mathadish. But for all practical purposes, Yogi Etnath was running it. His name was Naika Baba or Chutka Baba. Naika is new. Naika Baba, Chutka Baba, in the Gorakhpur parlance. In 1998, he passed on the political baton when in fact, I produced that picture also when Advani ji came that 98 is a crucial election and you have to win this seat for us. Mahant Abednath said, we will surely win this seat for us, but it will not be me this time. It will be this. And if you see Yogi Etnath that time, he looks really boyish. You must have seen that Sanskrit oath he's taking in 98. That video is quite viral, right? He was like really thinnish and very boyish. And he fought that election 98 and then he became Member of Parliament number 1 time, 99 second time, 2004 the 3rd time, 2009 the 4th time, 2014 the 5th time. A lot of people think that, oh, he's a new politician, right? He's an MP from last 19 years he spent in Parliament. I'm saying there is no Chief Minister who spent 19 years in Parliament and then went back. And UP gets a huge advantage. Like he picks a phone and calls Nitin Gadkari. Right, versus any other BJP chief minister, principal secretary will write to some secretary and then letters will exchange, right? His experience in governance is superb, right? And Praveen, you were talking about the daily life, right? If you go to his pre-chief minister life, right, he will get up at 3:45, 4. In fact, in UP, when Yogi Etnath became the chief minister, the joke was who gets up early, Narendra Modi or Yogi Etnath? And the answer was Yogi gets up 15 minutes earlier than Modi, right? So meaning the both of live a very disciplined lifestyle. So it seems the word is that he gets up at 3:45, he does his snanam, jo bhi Nath Panth ki, all the kriyas, he comes down, as he said, he used to go with a lat, we call it, like a bamboo stick, and tuck, tuck, tuck. It's also a wake up, it's an alarm for the whole ashram. I have woken up, like, have you woken up or not? Tuck, 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 tuck. He goes to all, and there are small temples. Temples are samadhis of Gorakhnath ji, Mahant Abednath, Mahant Digvijaynath, the Dada Guru of Yogi Etnath, and the Dhuni, which is firing, and all the places. There's a Bhim statue also. It seems there's a story, Bhim ji came to invite Gorakhnath ji for an event in the Mahabharat context. So he goes everywhere, then he goes to Goshala, then he goes up, and then a lot of people don't know Mutt is a massive Mutt, right? And not only that structure, Mutt runs some 40 plus large institutions, like multiple schools with 5,000 students, multiple colleges, nursing institute, Ayurvedic college, Ayurvedic hospital cum college, modern allopathy hospital, a 300-bed hospital, which is like a large hospital. And every hotel that you stay in on some leased property of the Mutt. Right, so Mutt almost own whole of Gorakhpur. That's why Gorakhnath Mutt and Gorakhpur are so synonymous. And you will see him like doing these meetings like CEOs, like if you're running one school can be like your lifetime work, right? Running 40 institutions. So he's working as a CEO from quite some time, right? And then he will come down and do a Janta Darbar from almost 9:30 to 11:30 every day from when he was not a chief minister. I'm telling you all of this when he was not a chief minister. In fact, I met a Muslim guy when he was not a chief minister, I was in ashram and he was coming out with some letter. I saying, ये बाबा की जादुई छुट्टी है, चाहे बहन जी की सरकार हो या नेताजी की सरकार हो, डीएम काम करेगा ही करेगा. नेताजी is मुलायम सिंह यादव in UP parlance, and बहन जी means Mayawati in UP parlance. And we call district collectors DMs there. So if Yogi Adityanath has written a letter for you, DM has to react. Because his thing was, if DM will not react, so he will call, अच्छा अब चिट्ठी से काम नहीं चलेगा, आना पड़ेगा. And he will not आके कुछ धमकाएंगे नहीं, he will just go and sit there. And when he will sit there, वहां पे एक टर्म था, बाबा बैठ गए. बैठ गए मतलब like, now he will only get up then when the work is done. And thousands of people shut their shops and come. And they don't even know the issue. किसी का स्कॉलरशिप नहीं मिला है, किसी का रिपोर्ट नहीं लिखा है, किसी का कुछ और ऐसा मामला पेंडिंग है, फसल का बीमा नहीं मिला है. एंड ही विल सिट एंड एक दो बार जब डीएम्स को पता लग गया कि भाई ही विल कम एंड सिट एंड ही विल एम्बैरस अस एंड मेक अस लुक बैड, इसका काम कर दो, तो वहां पे एक पूरा दरबार लगता है जिसमें 300-400 लोग आते हैं. लॉट ऑफ मुस्लिम्स कम एंड वो पूरा चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफिस के इसका लेटर लिखो, इसका लेटर लिखो, लेटर टाइप हो रहे हैं, वहां साइन हो रहे हैं. आपको लगेगा चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफिस लखनऊ से चल रहा है कि यहाँ से चल रहा है. एंड नाउ ही डज 2 जनता दरबार्स. बेसिकली हिज टीम डज इन गोरखपुर and he does one in Lucknow every day. In fact, there is a joke in, so if you don't get if you're close to his circle and if you are not getting appointment for 2-3 weeks, तो आप बोलते हैं जनता दरबार में आना पड़ेगा क्या? Because there you can get his attention, right? You will get your 5-7 minutes and he will hear. And he's so administratively astute because he has been in parliament for 19 years. He has heard almost 300 complaints of governance every day, right? From 20 years. So he knows what can a person's issue can be, right? What are the range of issues from land pattas to schools to colleges. So he's a very astute politician. In fact, a lot of his IS officers says that we have to learn from him every day. Whenever there is a court case, so, you know, every government has to go to court, multiple courts. So lawyers come and take a brief from him, like what should be our line of argument so that we are on a safer side. So yeah, that's about him.
Very true. You know, when I was making, we made actually three films. You know, 2 films, one on Mutt, one on his, work. You know, the way he works and all, and one was, just before the Ram Mandir inauguration, we thought, that how we should tell his story in a very interesting way. So I was thinking, what would be the best way? Because, it was a festivity all over, so we thought we should make a music video. So that would, really, catch up with the masses and, people will get the subtle message as well, So a lot of things were going on in Ayodhya, and around at that time. So we made a small, short, music video. So I'll just like to play that, if you can play Vigneshwar. Yeah, the music video, Awadh Mein Ram. Yeah, this can be online, no problem. Really easy.
भारत से कलंक पर छूट करने के लिए हिंदू समाज